Welcome to Design Nations, and this is the third video of a playlist where I'm making an LED light with a wireframe image. What I want to look at in this extended video here is how we can add text to the 3D image. Now, what I'm actually going to do here, I think, is bring in this skull. I haven't got the skull uploaded yet. So what I'm going to do is look at the DeLorean for a second. Let's have a see the DeLorean image. Yep. Okay. So I'm not going to put the text onto the DeLorean image, but I'm just going to highlight here that if I'm put it like that for the time being, if I were to add in, for example, a new sketch here, and let's just select this work plane here like this, and I was then to start to put some information in here, like a circle for etc., finish that sketch, and then I was going to extrude that into 3D. Okay. I am not capturing any of this history, which is going to be a problem in terms of me then, tweaking and editing this image. So where I've gone wrong here is if I right click on the top of this Project Explorer here, I've not got Capture Design History activated. So what I've got to do here basically is go right back through that process, back to the beginning, and I'm now going to right click and go capture design history. And then now when I create this new sketch, for example, here, and I put a circle on there, and I now extrude that circle to give it some depth, I can see that on my design history, I've now got the original base mesh for the DeLorean, I've got the sketch added, and then I've got this extrusion. So I've already started to do that with the skull design here. You can see I've already got some things happening. I've already created some work planes here. I think what I'm going to do is drag that right back. I'm going to delete all of those features and just imagine again that I've got my skull coming in and that I have activated design history. Okay, so I want to leave design history there operating. Okay, let's make an angled work plane here. So I'm going to make sure that I can see here the origins. I'm going to come to construct. I want a plane at an angle. I'm going to select this as being the axis for my work plane. And then now I'm going to rotate the work plane. I'm going to go to, let's say, 75% there. Maybe I want to adjust that later, but I can do. So I'm going to have the work plane kind of passing up through the back of the skull here. Let's click on OK. And then I'm going to start a new sketch. I'm going to click on that new angled work plane, and you can see how in my history here, I've got the original mesh, I've got this angled work plane, and I've got this new sketch. I think at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to deselect the bodies there. I'm going to, so they disappear, this with the eye, come to create. I'm going to create some text, and I'm basically going to click on this new sketch. Now, if I right click and move around here for a second, there we are, you can see that this new work plane, this new sketch is on that new work plane. Let's put some text up here. Let's draw it out. And what's my text going to be? I don't know. It's going to be design. My classic one. It's really boring. Dear me. Okay, let's choose a font here. Let's choose a size in relation, of course, to the skull. So maybe I want to bring the skull back in here. Okay, don't know why skull would have a design sticking out of its head, but there you go. Let's just confirm that, perhaps make the height here a bit bigger. I'll go with 30. Okay, I should be able to grab this and move it around a little bit. So if I turn on that body again, let's just look at this from the current view. Drag that text around so it's going to be like this. That's just weird. Okay. Yep, like that. Let's just finish that sketch. Okay then, so I've got design embedded inside the skull here. Let's just turn that body off for a second. Let's come to extrude. I'm going to select that text. Come on, select the text. Thank you. And then now I'm going to start to extrude that out into 3D. And now I need to re-enable bodies again so I can see how that's working. That's just weird. Okay, whatever. Okay, have a play with it yourself, yeah? Pull that back a little bit there. Okay, I can see that's kind of coming out the skull. What I can also do here as well is make it so I'm not starting on the profile plane. I can start on an offset, and I can change that offset. So if I put that, say, to 200, okay, and then pull that back, I can see now how the text isn't actually coming out of the skull. It's actually in front of the skull. Whoops a daisy. Let's put that to 10, let's say, or 20. Okay, and now you can imagine how that could then be part of your image, so I need to just make sure that I'm framing that correctly. Oh, and one thing I hadn't mentioned as well is about in the visual style here, I'm making sure that my camera is going to be in perspective with orthographic faces, which means if I click onto a face here, it goes into orthographic, which is a 2D view. But as soon as I go into 3D, it pulls it into a perspective view. Boom. Okay. Yep, so I could now go to File, Capture Image, and then follow through the rest of the instructions from the previous videos, making sure perhaps that I turn off the origin there as well. I don't know if the origin is actually captured. Interesting question. Okay, so there you go. That is it. I hope you found that interesting. Have fun, coming up with your own ideas and obviously, making your own base for this from scratch. No video tutorials for making the base of the light, okay? And yeah, see you next time.